y'all. Welcome to Not Your Average. I am not your average. Disclaimer: do not come to me in the flesh. I will send God to you in the spirit. Again, do not come to me in the flesh. I will send God to you in the spirit. Here we go with this nose again. Y'all, listen. This not gonna be long, but about a week or two ago, I had a dream, right? And a lot of stuff was going on in this dream. But it was one particular part of this dream where I was I was in a room with some family members, and they had done something to irritate my nerves, and it was something done that actually irritates me in real life, right? So when it happened in the dream, I was like, now they know I can't stand that mess there, right? And it's funny how God uses the things in your dream that you don't like or you like in real life. In this case, it was something that I did not like, right? So I had gotten my grandbaby. One of these people had my grandbaby, and I had gotten my grandbaby from this person. But when I got my grandbaby and started walking off, another family member who I do not communicate with got up and started poking me in my back as I was walking off, right? And I got so irritated by them poking me in my back. And I turned around and I was getting ready to cuss this person out, right? But when I turned around, the person had disappeared, right? So something happened earlier this week where I had very much the opportunity to start a fire, right? I had very much opportunity to cuss this person out, right? And it wasn't the same person in the dream. It was someone else, but I was fixing to let him have it, right? And I was sitting in the room, which is my usual spot. I sit in the room, and I literally heard God say, no, vengeance is mine. So I'm like, you know what? You're right, Lord. You take it. You got it. I'm not even gonna mess with it, right? And today, I was on YouTube on my personal channel, and I heard this person say, it's all a trap, right? And when they said it's all a trap, y'all, it hit me. It was like a whole revelation just downloaded. Like, it was like, oh, okay. So I understood that part of the dream, and I also understood what was happening in real life, right? So let me put y'all on some game right quick. There may be some people in your life right now that's pretty much poking the bear, right? They are poking you, right? It doesn't matter how they're poking you, but they're poking you, right? And you on the verge of letting this person have it. You on the verge of reading this person all of their rights, right? You on the verge of giving this person all of their ABCs, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Because it is a trap. It is a way of getting you off track, It is a way of taking you from that narrow path back abroad, right? This is the way the devil is trying to get you to revert back to some of your old ways, right? And it was like, Lord, I had to breathe it off. Like, just sitting thinking about it, I had to breathe it off because, Lord, you know these people playing with me, right? You see these people playing in my face. And y'all, I've never been the person to bite my tongue. Why? Because it hurts. It hurts, right? So I've never been the one to bite my tongue. You gonna get it, right? But thank God for Jesus, because I can honestly say that I've been biting my tongue with a lot of things, and it ain't hurting. It's not hurting, right? So be mindful, right? And I know our situations right now may not be the best, and I know that we are all going through things, but don't snap, right? Don't retaliate. Don't go out and fight nobody. Don't go out and cuss nobody out. Just breathe it off and walk away, right? And I got a couple of Bible scriptures. Not gonna be long, but Romans 12:19 says, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord." Right? And when I read that, I was like, all right, Lord, I'm out. I'm out. You can have it. Right? Because I know my mouth, and my mouth can be nasty at times, right? So, all right, cool. That's not the route you want me to go. So, another one. Okay, y'all. So, the second Bible verse we're going to go over is 1 Peter 3:9. And it says, "Do not repay evil for evil, or insult for insult, but on the contrary, bless, for two things you were called, that you may inherit a blessing." Okay? A lot of us are on the verge of getting our blessing, right? A lot of us are on the verge of getting our breakthrough, and the devil don't like it. And because the devil knows and sees what God has for us, and we can't necessarily see what God has for us, or we don't know what God is fixing to do for us, he's trying to get you off track. He's trying to distract you with some other things, some things that he knows is irritating you, right? So yes, it is irritating. Yes, these people getting on your nerve. Yes, these people is poking the bear, right? But do not retaliate, right? And I have to laugh because, like I said, I'm not the one to hold my tongue. You know, I'm the one that would tell you, oh, you should have cussed them out, right? So I have to laugh that I'm sitting here with a clear and clean heart telling y'all don't do it, right? I didn't do it, so I'm telling y'all not to do it, because I don't want to miss my blessing, and I know you don't want to miss your blessing either, right? So remember David and Saul, right? Saul was after David, right? David been running from Saul for quite some time, right? And David had the opportunity to get Saul, right? I think that's somewhere in First Samuel's. But David had the opportunity to get Saul while Saul was sleeping, right? He had a chance to take Saul out, but he didn't, right? He had done cut a piece of the man's cloth off his clothes just to see how close he was to him, how close he was to taking him out, right? David was so close to Saul, he could have took him out, and Saul would have never seen it coming. But David didn't do that, right? David didn't do that. And let me see if I can find it. I know it's First Samuel's that this happened in. But David didn't. He didn't take Saul out, y'all. And he told Saul, or he showed Saul the cloth from his robe that he had on, and he was like, "Hey, bro, listen, I could have took you out, right? Oh, I could have got you, but my heart ain't like your heart, and because my heart ain't like your heart, or you get to live, right?" And I'm like, oh, that's serious right there. Even though David could have took Saul out, he didn't. Because the Bible tells you David was the man after God's own heart. So David's heart would not allow him to take Saul out. Right? Let me see what it says so I can give y'all the scripture. And David actually spared Saul more than one time. But let's see. 1 Samuel chapter 24. And basically it says Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines. He was told David was in the desert of En-Gedi. So Saul took 3,000 able men from Israel and set out to look for David, right? And his men were near crags of the wild goats, okay? And it goes down to say he came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself, right? David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemies into your hands for you to deal with as you wish," right? So he got people with him in the same cave. Saul went into the very same cave that David was hiding in from him. And Saul went to sleep. The men that was with David was like, "Hey, bro, this the day you got him. Go ahead and do what you got to do," right? So it says David crept up unnoticed and cut off the corner of Saul's robe. Afterwards, David was conscience-stricken for having cut off the corner of his robe. He cut the man's robe off and felt bad, right? And it says he said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to the master." Okay, y'all, had to do some moving around. But I stopped at 1 Samuel 24, and I think I stopped at verse 6. So he said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master," right? "The Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord." With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way. Check this out. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, "My lord the king." When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face down to the ground. David had the opportunity to take this man out, right? Saul got up and left out the cave, not knowing nothing. But when David called him, David bowed down to him because he was still his leader. David still bowed down to him. After everything Saul had done, he still bowed down to him, right? And he said to Saul, "Why do you listen when men say David is bent on harming you? This day you have been with your own eyes how the Lord delivered you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to unalive you, but I spared you. I said, I will not lay my hand on the Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of your robe in my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe, but did not unalive you. See that there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I am guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me. But my hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you." Y'all, listen, don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. I understand that this person or these people may be aggy, right? They trying to come after you. God got it. God got it. And remember that even though they are poking the bear, God said vengeance is mine. So don't do nothing to that person. Give it to God. Okay? One of my favorite prayers is, Lord, create in me a clean heart and renew in me a steadfast spirit. Right? I think that's one of the prayers that keeps me from cussing people out. Right? So if you feel the need, the urge to cuss somebody out or give them a two-piece hole, don't do it. God got it. Right? Remember that we are walking a narrow path and we don't want to come off or miss out on our blessing because of just having enough, right? We tired of their mess, right? So don't do it. God got it. God is very much so faithful in everything. So when God says vengeance is mine, let it be his. I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Today is Saturday, May 3rd. I'm getting ready to go start some more birthday shenanigans. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Not your average.